Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. For today's video, I present 2023 Acura Integra A-Spec. I'm going to show you around this vehicle real quick, then we're going to go ahead and take for a drive and see if it drives just as good as the ILX. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications. Let's get into this video, shall we? Looking on the outside of the 2023 Acura Integra, this is a platinum white exterior at $500. Does have a red interior. Now this is a A-Spec trim, which does come with the black accents and a little bit more of a sportier appearance. Does have Integra embroidered right here on the front bumper. Full LED headlights. These are the jewel eye LEDs. We have 235 with 18-inch rims right there with a dark gray finish. A-Spec badging right there on this side. You do have keyless entry for the front door handles with a moonroof up top. This is your gas tank right here. On the driver's side, you push that to open that. This is your window sticker right here. $34,000 as so equipped. Looking around back, I have to say though, this is definitely my favorite angle of the Integra right here. It's definitely very different, aggressive. And like a lot of people say, it does remind you of the Genesis Coupe rear tail lights. This is definitely my favorite 3/4 rear angle right there. Looks sweet. You have dual exhaust, an A-Spec badge, the blacked out spoiler. You can get carbon fiber with a separate option. Opening the tailgate, you have 24.8 cubic feet of space. Nice LED illumination right there on the sides. Some more storage with a fix-a-flat kit. I do like the cargo right there, cargo cover to hide your stuff. Let me show you guys under the hood, where you will find a 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder. Final release, there we go. 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder, same engine as in the Honda Civic Si. 200 horsepower, 192 pound-foot of torque. It is a turbo VTEC engine connected to a CVT automatic transmission. You are rated at 29 in the city, 36 on the highway, and 32 combined. Let me show you guys the rear seats of the Integra. Put all that junk over there. Junk in the trunk. But looking in the back seats of the Integra, I am 5'6". I have about 3 inches of legroom. As far as headroom goes, I have about maybe an inch. I would have liked to see some rear air vents. That would have been a nice touch. Here's a look to the front cabin right here. You do have LED illumination. Surprisingly, no cup holders like with the center console folding down. That's something I was surprised with. But we're going to hop into the cockpit of the Integra. Opening the door, you can see that you do have power seats. You do get lumbar support on the technology package. Mirror controls. You can get memory seats as well with the tech pack. Now looking on the interior of the Integra, I do have to say though, the ergonomics and everything are very Civic-esque, which could be a good thing and a bad thing. Well, let me tell you a couple things I do like about it. It is very simple, easy to use, and intuitive. So if you look right here in front of you, you have a 10.2-inch gauge cluster flanked with a 7-inch display right here. If you get the Integra technology pack, you will get a 9-inch display. And a couple other features include a 16-speaker ILX audio system, which improves over the 8-speaker sound system. Looking right here, you have your light controls on this side, wiper controls. This is how you control your cruise control settings. It does have following assist with different following distances, which will show out on the road. Over here is your telematics displays. Looking right here, you can cycle through your different vehicle functions. You got your range, speed, driver assistance, and all of your different various features. I think it is a good thing that it's kind of Civic-esque because everything is very simple and easy to use. Right here's your push button start. I like how it's illuminated in red to kind of signify something more sporty. But look at this red interior though. This thing is nice. Something that you can't get in the Civic. Now the SI does come with like red cloth, but I do like this a lot better. Looking right here at the 7-inch display, I do have to say though, this is kind of on the more simpler side, but you can get wireless CarPlay and Android Auto when you do go for the 9-inch display. You have your volume, AM FM radio. You have your media function. So let's say I plug in my iPhone right here. So I'll plug in my iPhone 13. We'll go ahead and connect that. So you activate Apple CarPlay. Allow on the phone. We're going to try a quick audio test and see how the 8-speaker sound system does. You can see the sound system is okay, but I am more interested to drive the Spec technology package with the improved sound system and a little bit more features, but I'll revisit that at a later date. Over here you have your different various menu functions right there. Everything is very Civic-esque, which is a good thing, of course, because if you look at other Acura models, they don't have like the full touchscreen capability. So that's something that I do like, and I think is better for a younger demographic. Now down here you do have 3-stage heated front seats with a single zone climate control. You have a little bit of storage right here with a USB port and a 12-volt outlet. Some storage right there for your phone. Looking at the drive modes, of course, the technology Spec package does come with 4 distinct drive modes, but this one does come with 3. So if you toggle that, you have Sport, Normal, and a Comfort mode. You also do have Auto Start Stop, which you'll try on the road with a automatic parking brake and a brake hold function. Putting the vehicle into reverse, you can see you have a backup camera. Sorry for the dealer plate is blocking the backup camera, but you do have steering and trajectory right there. And you have a sport transmission mode right there in the gauge cluster. I do like that you actually can see your Apple CarPlay when your phone is connected. You can see it right there in the center screen. You do have 2 cup holders right here. They're a pretty good size, I dare to say, unlike some other vehicles. You do have some storage right here, the center console. Up top you have your auto dimming rearview mirror with LED illumination, sunglass holder, and you do have a moonroof up top. Over here on this side, you do have your visor right here, which is halogen illuminated. I would like to see LED illumination, but that is a small gripe. Now, overall, what do I think about the Integra as far as the walk-around section? A couple things. I do have to say I do like the touchscreen capabilities. It is better than other Acura models where you got to use the touchpad right here and it gets kind of confusing and you get kind of frustrated. This I can actually work with. And of course, too, what do you get in a technology package that this doesn't get? Well, one, you get the bigger 9-inch screen, you get front parking sensors, front and rear, 16-speaker sound system. You also get head-up display, the individual drive mode, which will add another drive mode right there. And you also get Acura Watch, Acura Link, and various other features. But we're gonna go ahead and take the Integra for a drive and see how she does. Now, in the first few feet of driving the Integra, I do have to say though, I do like how it drives. Now, I do miss the old 8-speed dual clutch from the ILX. I drove a couple months ago, but I do have to say that this is not bad at all. Now, one thing to mention that I almost did forget too is that you do have your fog lights, which do come on the Spec and Spec Tech Pack right there on that side, which is a nice addition. You can't get those on the base model, but you can on the Spec. We're gonna go ahead and merge onto the highway. CVT does emulate gears. I do have to say the response is actually pretty good. Very quick and snappy. Now I was a little bit leery at first though with the CVT, thinking that it could replace the 8-speed dual clutch, but in honesty it's pretty good. You have lane keeping assist right there, so if you veer out the lane, you can feel it pulling you back into the lane. It also does have adaptive cruise control, so right now it's using the cameras right there to follow the Jeep in front of me, and you can reduce the following intervals. So the adaptive cruise works very good and is very intuitive, and no problem at all with that. You have blind spot assist as well as automatic emergency braking for the front, which is all good safety features that I do appreciate in the Integra. And I'm happy to see it on the mid-trim, which will probably be the bread and butter trim for Acura, as this packs like the most value in the Integra lineup, with a good amount of features and not too expensive. Now I do like the customability of the Spec technology package with the individual mode, where you can tailor the driving dynamics just a little bit more, but overall this is pretty good. And of course, just like the Civic hatchback that I drove a couple months ago, you can't see, put your foot on the brakes. It will show up in the instrument cluster right there, as well as the turn signals. It's a cool little Easter egg. Right here?
Yes, sir.
Good. Alright, so we found the little back road. So we're gonna feel out the chassis balance of the Integra. And the salesman's already holding on. course, do have to try the little acceleration real quick to see how the power is. Now, it does have 200 horsepower, 192 pound-foot of torque. Make sure in sport and transmission sport, and we're just going to floor it. And that was about 6. So overall, the car's about maybe 7 seconds, 0 to 60, maybe about 7.2. But I do have to say though, around taking it on the back roads, it's very impressive. Really brings back memories of the ILX.
You're clear on this side.
Yeah, clear. Okay. You can really feel it. That turbo kicks in.
Yeah.
And you can hear the VTEC too. Just one thing.
Take a left up here.
Okay. You can really hear the VTEC right around 5,000 RPM. Just like their naturally aspirated engines. Wow. Okay. Oh, look, we got a red light. After having a little bit more seat time in the Integra, I do have to say that I do like the red interior. It's a lot better. I like the accents of it. It's not like too much red, but they break it up enough. Yeah, right. Some red right here on the side, and it's broken up right here on the seats with some black. So overall, it's pretty nice. I like the air vents too. And the visibility is good. Reminds me of the Civic hatch I recently drove about 3 months ago, where you could see perfectly out the rear, perfectly out the sides, and the front as well. But we do have to try one more acceleration to see how the Integra accelerates. That's about 3,150 pounds as equipped with the CVT and this A-Spec pack. So we're just going like a 0 to 30. Acceleration was pretty strong. You just give the turbo a smidge of a second and then it just takes off. rev matching is actually pretty good. With the CVT, you just slap a paddle and it just downshifts, no problem at all. Now, speaking of pricing, this one is around $34,000 as equipped, but with today's markup, it is around $39,000 and change. Now, if you compare that to a Civic hatch, which this vehicle is based on, I recently drove a Touring priced at around $31,000, and I do have to say that this is actually surprisingly cheaper than that Civic hatch with this markup of nearly $40,000. So you're basically getting a little bit more of a luxurious vehicle for a little bit less, which is a bargain to me. See, the CVT also does emulate shifts to make it feel more like an automatic.
It is left here.
Now let's go ahead and get into the conclusion of what I think about the Integra. Now, overall, it is a nice vehicle. Now, if it was my personal preference, I would get a Spec technology package so I can get the 16-speaker ELS, the memory seats, the head-up display, and plenty of other various features to make it feel more like a luxury vehicle. Now, a couple things I would have liked to see was like ventilated seats and maybe some heated back seats in the rear. But you do have to also mention too that you do have the Honda Accord, which is kind of similarly priced, and so they don't want to like ruin the brand and all that of the Accord and kind of dip in the sales of that. So it's kind of all for a reason and a purpose. But overall, the handling and the feeling on the road really reminds me of the ILX, and it's honestly just as good despite going from a conventional 8-speed dual clutch to a CVT. But now Acura also offers a 6-speed manual, so if you want a little bit more of an enthusiast option, you can of course get that. So that's going to wrap up the Integra, and I'll see you guys later.